If you're only going to run a few ads in Q4 and not take it that seriously, you're lighting money on fire. Last week, I sat inside the Meta Advertiser Summit in LA, and they basically said, stop micromanaging, feed the machine, and give us way more creative. Those are the three trends that Meta wants us as advertisers to start implementing in Q4 2025. Today, I'm handing you the exact Q4 creative playbook Meta wants you to run. The hooks, formats, creator strategy, testing cadence. Plus, I'm going to be sharing a bunch of stats that they dropped on stage that most brands will just ignore. Stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a 14-day sprint plan on how you can execute this Q4 strategy. And I'm also going to give you a link to the full recording that you can watch from the actual event. What's up, guys? It's Mark. Over the last 15 plus years, I've helped D2C brands grow through creative, retention, and paid acquisition. I've been a Meta advertiser since 2012. I cannot believe how long it's been. I've learned a lot over the years, but this last week, I was fortunate enough to be invited to Meta's SMB Advertiser Summit in Playa Vista. The theme of the day, well, it was AI, automation, and interconnectivity. Translation, the fastest path to cheaper CPAs this holiday season isn't a new hack. It's creative volume, and it's letting Advantage Plus do its job with the right guardrails. I promise by the end of this video, you're gonna have a creative system for Q4, not some random one-offs. I'm gonna share with you the exact testing sandbox process that Meta is telling us we wanna run if we want ads to actually win and get out of the learning phase. I'm gonna get into the exact creator and partnership ads implementation plan for new audiences, and then again, a 14-day sprint plan and the recording to the actual event. So let's start off by talking about the auction reality check in 2025. Meta's auction doesn't just reward the highest bid, it rewards the total value. And the user value equals how interesting and what type of quality your ad actually is at the end of the day. So yes, media math matters, but creative quality literally changes delivery. So let's start off with the learning phase. You want at least 50 plus conversions per week in an ad set. If you're stuck in learning, your CPA will be volatile. Consolidate, increase budget, and give the algo room. If you have a small budget, there's no sense to be running multiple campaigns and multiple cohorts with a $100 a day budget. You're never gonna get any momentum, and you're never gonna be able to get to the next step. So consolidate things, and if you have limited budget, keep it simple. I think the biggest problem that we see with most small and medium-sized brands in 2025 is there's just a lack of understanding of how the ad exchange works and how the learning phase works. And most brands think, I'll just start off with $50 a day, I'll go to $100 a day, then $150. And unfortunately, we could do that back in 2016, 2017, 2018. But in 2025, the ad game is different. If you want to step up the plate, you need to be feeding conversions. And if you don't have the budget for those conversions, then you can't run a proper funnel. And you need to start off with one simple campaign. Next, we're going to talk about the automation that you should actually use and implement on a weekly basis in your ad account. Meta is pushing Advantage Plus from end to end. Their words, not mine. Automation is how you scale, and your job should be focusing on the strategy and the input. So here's a couple of performance claims from their end. When it came to Advantage Plus sales campaigns, there was a 9% better CPA. On Advantage Plus app campaigns, there was a 7% better CPA. And Advantage Plus leads, there was a 10% better cost per qualified lead. What is this telling us? Let automation in Advantage Plus do the heavy lifting and focus on the other inputs. That's the strategy, that's the creative, and that's the overall goal of your paid acquisition. And when it comes to single step pieces, Advantage Plus placement saw a 5% lower cost per action. Advantage Plus audiences saw a 7.2% lower median cost per result. And Advantage Plus campaign budgets saw a 5% lower cost per result. What are we seeing here? Implementing Advantage Plus and the automation that it can run in your ad account is going to produce better results. But at the same time, here's a couple guardrails that you want to keep. You want to make sure to exclude existing customers. If you're running top of funnel, you want to make sure that you're uploading that PII, emails, phone numbers, anything that you have that's relatable back to your customer. You want to be pushing that back in, creating custom audiences, and excluding those customers from those specific campaigns. Next, you want to set minimum ad set spend so new creative actually gets delivered. And lastly, you want to pass values via pixel and CAPI so value optimization and ROAS logic actually works. Bottom line, turn it on, set the rails, and let it work. Now let's get into the fun stuff. It's Q4 creative. What you can do to optimize your campaigns with creative in Q4. Meta basically said, stop starving the machine. What Meta wants to see is 20 assets per campaign in the guidance. At a minimum, 5+ ad creatives per ad set. They want a mix of reels, UGC, static, reviews, promos. They want you to focus on vertical, 9x16 first, and they want sound on. So when it comes to the static playbook for Q4, here's the 3 pillars you want to follow. We're going to talk about holiday headlines. On image text, not just post copy. You want to start off with urgency. Sale ends tonight, last chance. You want urgency to gamify the copy experience within these ads. Next, you want to have seasonal relevance. Gifts for every dad on your list. Think about where is there a gifting opportunity and how do you tie that into your ad creative. And then you want to have offer clarity. Buy 2, get 1 free, 30% off. You want to make sure that your hero offer is simple and easy for anyone to understand. By the way, no competing offers. Keep things simple. The simpler, the better. If people get confused on what your offer is for the holiday, you're going to lose them. Next, I want to talk about overlays. Frames, badges, countdowns, CTA chips. Use overlays in your creative to enhance the overall experience. And then lastly, you want to reframe to 9x16. Convert 1:1 and 4:5 to vertical. Use Meta's image expansion on mobile editors. And if you have any worry about what your creative is going to look like, make sure you stay within the safety zone. You want to make sure in 9x16 that things do not get cut off when they get into different placements. Now I want to talk about video reel best practices. First off, you want to hook in the first 3 seconds with copy, visuals, and audio. You want to build to motivators, discovery, plan savings, self-reward, bargain hunting, gifting. Those are all the themes that we want to build to motivate someone to actually take the action to buy so we can get those conversions. So here's a few winning story types that you can brief today. The first, sale edit. Create a listicle, 3 on-trend picks under $50. The second is a promo spotlight. Motion over statics with clear percent off in each frame. And lastly, we have review UGC creative. Adding green screens with overlays, creators, personality forward messaging, and end the creative with an offer. And then don't forget, sound is a non-negotiable. Use Meta's free sound collection and holiday playlist if you do not have any royalty-free sound. I'm telling you, Meta's done a lot of research on how reels get consumed. And if someone's swiping through their feed with sound on, which is over 75% of the time, and they get to your ad and there's no sound, what's going to happen? Someone knows it's an ad, they're going to toss it and go somewhere else. Meta has licensed a lot of music that you can use in your ads. Take advantage of it. Now we're going to talk about creators and partnership ads. Meta confirmed what we see in accounts every week. People in frames convert. Video creative with people saw an 81% higher effectiveness than the same type of creative without people. 82% of the people who follow creators purchase from personalized ads. Remember that. People purchase from people. The more we can work with creators that are going to be featured in these videos and that are going to highlight your products and your offers, the better results we're going to get at the end of the day. Lastly, followers are 1.5x more likely to purchase on social than from non-followers. And partnership ads beat straight whitelisting because they combine the brand and the creator page level signal in delivery. That means cheaper reach and better odds of finding new pockets of buyers. So here's a couple of creator briefs you can work on tonight. First is a mini gift guide, a max 3 products for a special recipient, like gifts for new dads. The second is a high urgency drop. Add in FOMO. I paid full price, so you don't have to. And then lastly, we have holiday hacks. Your product as the stress saver that gets them through December. Those are 3 great options that they presented at the Meta event. And these are taken from Meta's clients directly that have had success using this partnership strategy. Now we're going to get into the testing cadence that actually works. This is how we're going to build the sandbox and we're going to start lighting up ads to refresh the account. So here's how to preheat creative before peak CPMs hit in November. So to start off, you're gonna wanna create a sandbox campaign that's gonna be around 20% of your overall budget. You're gonna make sure to keep the same objective and optimization as your scalar campaign. You're gonna use broad targeting with an Advantage Plus audience, and you're gonna test 6 to 10 assets per batch. You can go up to 10 to 20 if your budget supports it. And remember, the goal is 50 conversions minimum before judging if that creative actually worked or not. Now, you're gonna graduate the winners weekly or bi-weekly into your scalar campaign. Then you're gonna use Advantage Plus campaign with a minimum spend per ad set so new assets get delivery without choking your top performers. Number 3, do not day trade. Every duplicate throws the ad set back into learning. Make sure to refresh in controlled cycles, not hourly tweaks. That means you're not touching your ad account more than twice, maybe 3 times a week if you really need to. And just remember, if you have a smaller account, that means you're touching it even less. So here's a couple pro moves when one ad spends more in the sandbox. Make sure to duplicate the sandbox, turn off the hog that's taking up all the spend in the duplicate so the rest earn signal, and keep the original running. Don't nuke your best performer globally. So now I want to talk about the opportunity score and what it means by being a performance coach in your ad account. Meta added the opportunity score inside Ads Manager. It's a score between 0 to 100, and it's a score that prioritizes recommendations. Think of it as a do this first guidance strategy. Start from the event. Advertisers who adopted opportunity score recommendations saw roughly a 12% drop in cost per result. Use it like a weekly Q&A with a performance coach. This is where you're going to go over creative fatigue alerts, consolidation prompts, setup fixes, and exclusions. And now, as promised, we're going to go through the 14-day Q4 creative sprint strategy that I promised you at the beginning. This is what you can use to help build out all your Q4 creative as you go into October and November. Remember, the last thing we want to do is be scrambling to build creatives right before we're ready to launch a Q4 campaign. We want to be strategic, and we want to make sure that the creative matches up with our global campaigns across organic, social, other paid channels, email, SMS, and direct mail. So day 1 to 2, this is where we're going to start off with inventory and wiring. You're going to pull the top 10 historic ads that you have, and you're going to list out the motivators that each one of those ads speaks to. Next, you're going to also confirm that you've got the marketing infrastructure set up. And you're also going to want to make sure to set Advantage Plus guardrails with exclusions and a minimum spend. On day 3 to 5, and you're going to focus on volume and signals. You're going to produce 20 to 40 assets per offer. This is a mix of static, reels, UGC, and reviews. Like I said, not everything is going to happen from shooting to production to this and that. But this is where you're going to want to take the assets you have and start formulating them. And next, you're going to want to build the holiday theme. That's around headlines, overlays, countdowns, and convert all of them to 9x16. And then you're also going to want to select 2 to 3 creators and build briefs for either mini gift guides or urgency drop concepts. A couple of the things like we talked about earlier. And day 6 to 7, this is where you're going to launch in the sandbox. You're going to launch 6 to 10 assets live. This is where you're going to focus on Advantage Plus audiences. And you're going to want to set the campaign and ad set budgets to hit a minimum of 50 conversions per week. Remember to do the math. If you're worried about your budget, you're going to want to make sure that you have enough budget to hit those conversions. Day 8 to 10, you're going to want to read and analyze and iterate. Add 4 to 6 new hooks to the same body assets. This is what I like to call hook hacking. And you're going to want to use the opportunity score to address the highest impact fixes. On day 11 through 12, you're going to want to graduate to a scaler. You're going to want to move the 3 to 5 winners into a scalar campaign, Advantage Plus campaign budget with a minimum spend to the new cohort. And then day 13 through 14, this is the creator wave. This is where you're going to want to launch the partnership ads using creator winners, excluding buyers if needed. And you're going to want to prep the sandbox version 2 for these new ads. You're going to want to repeat. Listen, I know all of this is not possible to get done in 14 days. This is more to give you a full roadmap on how you should be implementing your Q4 creative strategy with your whole creative and media buying team and marketing team into the next couple months. So here's the payoff. In Q4, creative is targeting. You won't outbid your competitors, but you'll outcreate them. Run the sprint, feed the machine, let Advantage Plus do what it's built to do while you focus on the strategy and the story. I've added a link to the full Meta Summit recording. I'm also going to drop the 14-day sprint checklist and our holiday headline overlay pack below so you have access to those resources. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and tell me what you liked or didn't like in the comments. And if you're also looking for support and you want someone to help run your ads in Q4, there's a link below where you can get in touch with me directly. I would love to take a look at your ad account. So if you want to work with me and you want access to me and my team to do the same things that we do for our clients at Breadloaf, book a call with me directly below. And that's really it, guys. Let's win in Q4. I hope you enjoyed this video. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.